and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about dating red flags. Whether you start dating a girl or a guy, or you've been seeing them for a few days, maybe a month, and you see signs that something ain't right. Well, I'm going to be into it and giving you my advice on not to waste your time, and you have to let that person go. So hear what I have to say about situations that go on dates, and just for you not to waste your time, just to be aware of the guy and the girl. So keep watching. Okay, I'm gonna be getting into it about dating red flags. And I jotted a couple of things down to be getting into it of what you should look out for. Well, if the girl or the guy is not mutually available, that must mean that the guy has not really too much interest. The guy either has someone else. So you shouldn't be wasting your time. When you feel like you're dating someone, a guy or a girl, and you feel like you've been seeing them a few times, but you don't see the lack of interest, and they don't like you, he or she doesn't like you, that's a red flag. You should let them go. When something is not right and you feel like they be checking in frequently, either the guy or the girl, something ain't right with their head. I mean, it's just they don't trust you. They think that, they gotta keep checking in. What are you doing? Where you at? I mean, it's okay to do it once, say what you up to, but when it's constant 4 or 5 times in a day, that's excessive and it's not right. You should let that person go. They are too jealous. I mean, it's okay to be jealous to a certain point, but when it's over ridiculous, I mean, if you have for me, a guy around me, or if you're a male and you have a female around you, and the female doesn't understand, if your friends are like, we all have friends around, and there's has to be respect when you have your partner. Now, if the girl is being disrespectful to your friend and trying to flirt, then that's not right. As well as goes for your guy friend if he does it to me. So that's when you have to say, hey, something ain't right. And you have to let that person go. Well, another one is they make fun of you. It's okay to make fun and joke around, but if they're doing it intentionally to hurt you and put you down, you have to let that person go and speak your mind, because I am not going to tolerate certain things, and you should not either. Sometimes I talk fast, sometimes the word gets tongue twisted, so don't mind me. Um, you shouldn't be with a person that will belittle you, that will put you down. It's not right, and I think it's abuse, and that should not be tolerated, whether it's a male telling it to a female, or a female telling it to a male. So you have to let that person go, because you can find someone else who can treat you right and not hurt you or disrespect you, and you want someone who you feel comfortable around, not someone who talks down on you. That's another sign you really have to look for. When a person, a guy or a man, when a girl or a guy has too many boundaries and they don't want to open up to you, that means that they either don't want to commit, they really are not that into you, they just want to play around. So you need to let that person go, whether it's a female or a male. Another thing, if you meet a guy or a female and you're dating them and you see that they drink excessively and it's like an alcoholic, you really have to let that person go, because you don't want to be with a person that's constantly drinking and half the time they are consumed, and it's just the smell coming out of there. It's okay to drink, but if it's like every day and constantly, and when a person drinks, sometimes they say things they don't mean to say, but they do, and it's hurtful, and you don't want to be put in a situation where the person is constantly, you know, like that. And I feel like if you tell them, hey, stop drinking, and they don't want to listen, and they constantly turning into or are an alcoholic, you have to let that person go, because you don't need to be with a person that's going to treat you a certain way when they're drinking and act different when they're drinking, because that's not what you want. You don't want to be in a relationship where the person can't just be normal, can't just be, they always got to be consumed, have something inside, have always be, it's okay once in a while, it's occasionally in weekends or something, but if it's every day, then no. Why would you want to be with a person, a guy or a female, that's constantly drinking and half the time they can't even think straight? No, you have to let that person go. Okay, undefined what a relationship is. If you're with a female or male and you start asking, hey, so where we at, and are we gonna be in a relationship? Are we what's gonna and the person doesn't undefine what it is, you have to let that person go, either if it's a female or a male. I'm not sure. They know, but they just don't want to commit. They don't want a relationship. It's either the female or the male. Either they have someone else. So you have to take the initiative and let them go. Find someone that is going to be there for you through good and bad, as well as you be there for them for good and bad. You don't need to waste your time. As nowadays, we are at a certain age that we don't want to waste our time on someone that can't be grown up, be a woman or a man, and want to be childish and play games. We don't got time for that. So let that person go. That's a red flag. Okay, if you are checking this out, what I wrote, because this is important. If you are talking to a man or a woman and they get caught up in lies, and it's just like in the beginning of just talking, like of you can say getting to know each other, I'm telling you, I'm cutting that person off, and so should you. Because if it's just little lies, imagine if it's something serious. Would you want to be with a person like that? No, you do not. Because when you are in a real relationship, the person, the guy or the man, is going to lie about any little thing. He's going to say, oh, I'm at the beach. And he's actually in a hotel with someone else. Think about it. If you can lie about little things and you can catch the person, why would you want to be with someone that can't be honest with you? And they expect you to be honest with them? No. You're not going to waste your time. So cut them off. And there is a lot of gaslighters. If you see that the guy or the female should be gaslighting or he be gaslighting just to make you hear whatever they want to hear, don't. Don't believe everything. And not only that, don't tell the guy or the female what you're looking for. Because a lot of the times, if you say, oh, I'm looking for a guy like this, he's caring, he's this, then he's going to portray what you're looking for. You don't want that. Just say, oh, I'm just looking for someone that matches my energy. That's it. And you see from there if the guy or the female is actually worth talking to or being around. And if you see that the signs and the flags are there, cut them off. They're not the only person in the world. Don't waste your time. Another red flag is if the guy or the female starts fighting, starts hitting, you have to cut them off, because they say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. It's going to get worse. It's gonna get worse. I'm telling you, it's gonna get worse. Abuse and violence is not tolerated. Physical violence is not tolerated. I've seen situations where the guy has put his hands on the female. If the guy either chokes you, hits you in the arm, or any situation, if it's very disrespectful and they start taking out knives, then you really have to cut that person off. I feel like if you can't respect each other, that's not love. That is not love, and you have to let that person go. Find someone who can treat you right. Find someone that can love you. That is not love. Physical abuse, hitting, and violence, it should not be tolerated at all. I'm not going to be with someone that's abusive. I'm not going to be with someone that's cheating on me because I know I can find any guy that's going to treat me right. I might not find the perfect guy the first day or the second day, but you know what? I will find someone because I'm not an ugly female and I can find someone. I'm telling you, you can find someone. Don't settle for less. Find someone that can treat you right, that can meet you in the same level. In the same level. I'm not saying everything is 50-50 because relationships sometimes are not. But if you have an understanding and you both get along and you both have that nice communication, if you both can be there for each other and you both love each other or have that I like you in the beginning, then it's worth continuing with that person. But don't allow physical violence, any situation, abuse, don't allow it. That's cut off time. If someone, another thing, if someone tries to manipulate you and get their way all the time, no, relationship is not one-sided. It's not. If you feel that the guy is manipulating you and wanting to get what he wants and you're not getting what you want out of the relationship, then why waste your time? It goes the same way. If the guy is not getting what he wants and the woman is manipulating to get whatever she wants and she's not putting in, why waste your time? You should not be in a relationship. You always got to watch out for that too. If you are calling the guy or the female, right, and you're talking to someone, a guy or a female, and you call them and they don't answer their phone call, and then when you finally speak to them and they say they were busy, they were with friends, or they didn't hear the phone call, if it's a constant thing, they don't have no intention of being with you. In reality, all they are doing is gaslighting you, just faking it. They're not really interested in you. Either they're with a friend or they don't respond to you. There was one time, I'm gonna tell you this. I met this guy, and we went out. I think we went to the movies, and at the end of the date or whatever, like the next day, or I forgot when I called, and he didn't answer. Then he calls back and says, "Oh, I was at a studio. I didn't get your call." I'm not dumb. If you don't answer my call and you don't respond back, I'm not gonna be calling you. So I let that call back, and I'm not wasting my time. If the person does not show me interest, I will not show interest at all because it works both ways. And what happened was that I called, said I was busy, I wasn't available, I was at the studio. Come on. That guy, I know that he was with someone else. Either he's living with someone else. If the guy cannot respond to you and says he was busy at a studio, that's a bunch of crock. I cut him off. I didn't waste my time. The next time I seen him outside. And what did I do? I looked at him. I was with a friend of mine. He just drove by in a car. Do you think I bothered to stop and say hi? No. He just drove by. If a person is interested, they'll stop, they'll talk to you, they'll show interest. I didn't bother after that calling him because I didn't feel that there was a connection as it is. But if the person is interested, they'll make the time to talk to you. If they don't make the time to talk to me, I'm not making the time. So that's a no. Cut that person off. Let's see what else. first of all, if you're talking to someone and going out with them date, the first date, the first time, and all they talk about is sex, that's a no no. I feel like that shouldn't be talked about the first date because my thoughts is gonna be like, you are only out there just for the sex. That's not a conversation you have on a first date. You have to get to know the person. It's not to get to know the person, how they are in bed, what position you like. No, of course, I'm gonna cut that person off because I know as a fact that's all he wants. If that's the first conversation he acts is in the first date, so that's a cut off right there. So you know, the female, all she talks about is sex the first day. You know why even waste your time? If she's fantasizing and she can't wait to actually get to know you, or if the guy can't wait to get to know you and just the first date is just about sex, no, I am not going to talk about sex the first day. That's not something you're supposed to talk about. You have to get to know the person. And that's not the first thing you talk about. Cut that person off. Okay, if the guy or the female has deep wounds and doesn't open up, they can't seem to, open up so you can get to know them, why waste your time? They are not there to get to know you. They don't want to open up because they don't want to catch feelings for you. They are not there to be interested in you. They're not there to have something serious with you. They're just gaslighting you. Cut them off, female or male, no matter what. If the guy or the female ghosts you and you've been talking to them for like a month and they just stop talking, stop calling, they ghost you, just that, I'm telling you, they either have someone else, because that's the whole point, they have someone else, or they just doesn't know what they want. And you don't need a karmic. That's a karmic. You don't need someone that doesn't know what they want. They have family issues. They have issues. They have issues either with their mom or their dad. They grew up in a situation where they can't you don't want to deal with a person like that. You need to cut them off. You can't fix the person. They have to get therapy. They need help. And you cannot help them, make them a better person. It's impossible. If they have wounds, if they have situations of past relationships, how can you fix them? You can't. They have to get therapy. They have to take that time for themselves to do self healing, meditate. They have to actually go to therapy. They have to, take times for themselves to love themselves, to be able to get into a relationship. Try to even talk to a male or a female. You can't be with someone that's in a bad situation or has been in abuse or has been, it's just violence or situation. They have to get therapy. You can't get yourself involved with someone that has been in a bad situation where you know that you're not, you could say, mentally, physically able to help them, because you don't know what they've been through. Even though they say physically we all have been through things in life, but everybody has been through different things. Only that person has to be able to heal, and they need therapy. They need someone they have to go to. No, you have to cut them off and let them know, I'm sorry, but this is not working out. You need help, and I'm not there to fix you up. I'm not there to help you. I can't do that. So you need, because if you try to get into a relationship, it's gonna be the same situation they were in before, because that's all they know. So try to waste your time with someone like that. Well, I hope the things I have said has helped, because you don't need to be with someone that doesn't like you, that doesn't really give you that attention. You have to be with someone that you see there's interest, that you see that they're happy to see you, that they can make that time. If they got excuses and they can't make that time, don't give them the time. If you see they're playing games, cut them off. I'm telling you, don't waste your time. Life is too precious to waste time. Be with someone that can meet you, you know, you can stay in the same level, someone that can treat you good, someone that you know there could be a future with. If you see that you're wasting your time, then cut them off. I hope this has helped you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to click on the notification bell when I'm on. Leave a comment, and I'll get back to you if you need advice or any situation that I mentioned. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.